welcome to Abend Time with your hosts Kat
and Maddie,
where we talk about a wide variety of topics crossing many different nerd genres. So, as you can see, this is a new podcast, and we figured we might want to start off by introducing ourselves so you get to know us a bit.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Because we both have a wide variety of interests. I tend to like anime and games, and I know you like board games as well.
I do like board games. They're rather fun. Gaming board games. I'm dipping my toes in the anime.
Yeah. And hopefully over the course of this show, we'll get you into more shows, and maybe I'll try out a few board games, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah.
But for now, we've got a bevy of topics lined up. From simple things like first thing you ever remember watching or playing to who's your favorite character and why. We're trying to cover a wide variety of topics.
And fun topics, you know?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Silly topics. It's always fun to deep dive your favorite stuff.
Exactly, and sometimes it's just nice to get it out there and talk about what you love.
And speaking about stuff we love, what better way to start an introduction than with what's our favorite show?
with fangirling, that's the best way, I think.
Yeah, fangirling, exactly.
Favorite show.
Yeah,
that's kind of hard for me, actually. Still,
true. It can be a live action show or an animated show. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific. As long as it played on a TV somewhere in the world, I think we're good.
On a TV, I don't know. You're asking a lot right there. I'm not sure.
Netflix counts too, and all that stuff. Not trying to be picky.
Oh God, yeah. It's hard because it's tied to a game. Because of course it is, right?
Of course.
Persona 4 anime.
It's a really good anime.
It's a fantastic anime.
What's your favorite scene from it?
Oh man. The bar scene.
Yes.
the freaking bar scene. In the game, I'm the king. Yes. In the game, I kind of glanced over it. I honestly looked at a guy at that point to be like, okay, what was the best option to get the most points for the girls, right? And it was the embarrassing one, right? But I didn't even picture what was happening like the anime did. The anime went all in. I was like, this is just the best thing ever. I couldn't stop laughing. I still watch it to this day. That scene, just to laugh.
And I know it's not the only Persona adaptation you're really looking forward to.
Oh, hell no. As of recording this, the Persona 5 animation comes in about a month. Little less than a month.
Yeah, a little less than a month.
And, yeah. Yeah. That's how excited I am. No. Can't say anything.
Now, I know everything you've talked about so far has been an adaptation of a game, but do you like shows that aren't adaptations?
Yes. Princess 9 is
right.
One of my favorite animes, just because I kind of grew up with it and identified really well with the main character. It's actually why I started playing sports, which is, I don't admit to my softball friends at all, because it's
they don't need to know.
Yeah, they don't need to know. It doesn't matter. But, it's a girls' baseball team in Japan, specifically following this one pitcher. Girls' high school baseball team trying to make it to Koshien, which I believe in Japan is the pinnacle of high school. And it's really, really well done. I watch it. It's very 90s anime.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But it has I get the feels every time. I love it.
Now, are there any other things when it comes to a TV show of any kind where, if it has this one element, you're probably going to love it?
Probably fantasy.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Especially because, just a little bit more about myself, I'm a film major, so I really enjoy special effects and how they create those sort of things. So when I see shows I don't really follow Game of Thrones, but sometimes I watch it with my mom, and she likes watching it, and I watch it for how they do dragons or fire fight scenes. And I'm just that's really cool. So I if a show has that element, I'd be willing to sit down and watch it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's been a huge boom of fantasy type shows.
Yeah,
which is really
Stranger
nice.
Things, I think.
Yeah,
is one of them.
More of a horror fantasy, but definitely still fantasy.
I don't watch a lot of live action, so that's the top of my live action right there. It's just
Well,
Those
to
are
be
the shows
fair,
I
you
remember.
watch more than me, so there you go.
Well, there you go. I got something.
Yeah.
The Warcraft movie, that's a movie, not a show, but that was cool. Also, because I might love World of Warcraft too. But it was cool to see how they did orcs
Yeah.
and magic and stuff.
And hey, if it's a good movie that you enjoyed, then bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of time Hollywood versions are just, they're for fun.
They were very true to the story. So true to the story. Well, not true to the story, but true to, like, the fans. That people who weren't fans were like,
We're totally
what is
lost.
this? And I'm like, sorry.
I mean, it's
really
ballsy to
good.
take that stand, because a lot of times they'll try and make it for everyone, and then you'll piss off the fans, and it's like, well, then why did you even make it?
Yeah.
You've pissed off the only people who were really going to go see it.
Who really
and support
wanted to
it.
see it. Hope they make a
Yeah.
second one.
Are there any things in a show where if it's like a major theme or whatever, you'll probably stay away?
The only, again, I can go back to Game of Thrones because it's kind of why I don't watch it. But like
Right.
heavy lewd stuff,
Right.
I'm just like, nah, I don't need that in my show. I don't really care. It's
Right.
not a deal. That will always be like a turnoff. It's like, yeah, they have this. I'm like, I don't really want to watch it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Anything else?
yeah.
I usually give a lot of things a chance.
which is good,
Yeah.
because you never know, like something might stick that you didn't expect.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of an example, and I can't. But I probably have one somewhere.
I've got an example, but I think we'll save that for a future topic.
Oh, yeah. But what about you? We talked a lot about my shows. What are your favorite shows?
Well, I've got way too much anime that I watch. So without a doubt, my favorite show is a little show called Natsume Yujin Show. It just finished its 6th season last year, and it had its 15th anniversary last year. So that's fun.
Jeez, congratulations!
I know
to that.
it takes like a couple years break between every other season, so you get like season 1 and season 2 pretty close, and then 3-year gap, and then season 2 and season 3 and 4, and then a 4-year gap.
3-4 year gap. So that's why your patience is stellar,
Not
right?
very good at all. I mean, to be fair, that's not the only reason my patience is terrible, and we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about a boy who can see spirits, and he comes across this lucky cat statue that happens to be possessed by a demon thing, and he learns that he's in possession of a book full of names, and everyone wants this book full of names because if you hold their names, you hold them. But he wants to return the names, so the show is about him returning each and every name, and it's a very episodic show, so you can start anywhere and not be too lost, although there is an overarching plot, and I love it. It's just it makes you feel so good while you're crying, because it's sad, but it's not tragic. It's so good. I love it.
It's sad, but it's like the good sad.
Yeah,
like,
and
as of sad.
Yeah, exactly. And as of this recording, the movie hasn't come out yet, but I think it comes out either late or early April or early May, between there. So it's soon.
I was gonna say, wasn't there? There's been a couple movies that's come out for this show, right?
Not for this show. They've had a few OVAs, which are episodes that aren't really in the normal 13. And it's called a core, and it's just like, here's the season of 13 episodes. It doesn't matter how long something is. The core is 13 episodes. But yeah, these OVAs were outside of that core, probably because the last 2 seasons only had like 10 or 11 episodes each, which was 2 less than normal, so they each had 2 OVAs.
Interesting.
Yes, I could go on and on and on and on and on about this show, but yeah, maybe we'll dedicate an episode to it eventually.
Maybe there'll be a little homework for yours truly here.
Exactly. Not right away. I got other shows to tell you to watch, like ones that involve dragons.
Dragons.
Yes. Yes.
I do like me some dragons, some dargans.
Yep.
Love dragons.
You know, that's one of those things where if it's in it, I'll probably at least give it a chance or enjoy it. Like, I've got very specific things. If it's a modern setting but with supernatural elements, I'll probably adore it. Like Natsume Yujincho is. If it's fantasy, I'll at least give it a try, because fantasy and anime is hit or miss. Like, sometimes it's really interesting world building, and sometimes it feels like a rushed D&D campaign.
Not the Rush D&D campaign. Those
Well,
are the
it
worst.
feels like there is a story there. It's just that they're going through it so quickly that you're not getting the most interesting the character interaction bits. Like you're just getting and then plot point and then plot point. And then plot
the
point.
little interesting bits in between that makes it like really fleshed out and fun. Yeah,
exactly. And if it's sappy, I'll tend to enjoy it, because even though I'm not the girliest of girly girls, I love me some girly anime. It's just it's bad and I love it.
It's bad and I love it.
Yeah. Because sometimes you just need to have a good cry, is my opinion.
Yeah, I usually do that through music, which, you know,
fair enough.
We'll also get to later.
Yes, exactly. We are planning a couple of music topics.
This is only the first episode.
Yeah, and we're still figuring out the format. So if you have any suggestions on how to get better, just, leave it a comment or listen to the end of the podcast and we'll tell you other ways to contact us.
Ooh, fun stuff. But so anime kind of only thing you watch, no live shows, no interest in that?
I watch the occasional, I have to admit, like, I don't mind the occasional reality show. I prefer Project Runway, which I know might not get another season thanks to all the lovely stuff going on in Hollywood right now.
Ooh, yes.
But yeah, I love that show, and I've loved the show since it first started airing. I've always had a penchant for costume design, so shows that focus on that element. And also I work in the film industry, so seeing shows like Face Off where they do the makeup for film or stage or whatever, it's that kind of stuff really interests me, the artistic process.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I like watching, like the behind the scenes of movies to see how they do
that
stuff.
Yeah, the featurettes.
Yeah, especially Lord of the Rings, because God,
oh my God, it had so many. It had like a movie's worth of featurettes.
I think it was longer than the movie. All three of them.
Extended version, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
Well, I mean, it was on how many, if I remember correctly? Like,
yeah.
But no, that's really good. But yeah, for me, it is mostly anime that I watch. I'll watch the occasional TV show, but it's not like anime where it's like, okay, it's Saturday, it's time for card captors, or it's time
for my anime.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Ancient Magus Bride just updated. I better watch that. And like, that's all the stuff I like in a show. But if it's sci-fi, I'm probably not going to watch it.
Oh, because yeah,
I'm not a fan of the spacey stuff. I think it's cool and whatever, but it also makes me very, very scared. So I don't enjoy sci-fi. That doesn't mean I've never watched a sci-fi anime before. I love Macross. I love Captain Earth. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, that's not true. Gargantia on the Verodius planet was also really good. Even though, like, if you watched it, you'd be like, Kat, 10 minutes of it takes place in space.
You're like, well, this is space.
It's a space. Like 10 whole minutes. I made it through 10 minutes. Be proud of me.
I'm proud of you.
Aw, thank you.
10 minutes of space.
10 minutes of space.
Yeah.
But, no, that's pretty much my biases. I like my girly shit, and I'm not so much a fan of space or tournament arcs. If a show has a tournament arc, it has to be a pretty damn good show to keep my interest. So
what, you're saying you don't like Dragon Ball Super?
I haven't watched a single episode of it, so I honestly cannot say. But considering I'm not the biggest fan of Dragon Ball, I'm gonna go with no.
All right. Fair enough. Because.
And the thing is, I have watched, like, Dragon Ball. I watched was one of my first shows, a topic that we'll get to very soon. But I think it lost me when it took 5 episodes to make 5 minutes of a planet blowing up.
Oh my God, that's the classic right there.
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes before Namek explodes. 20 episodes
and then,
later.
Like, I swear to God, 5 episodes later, it finally happens. I think that was a really long 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's like the thing. That's like the if you make fun of Dragon Ball, you make fun of that specific moment. It's just like that, and the fact that Goku could apparently just surpass his limits like infinity amount of times. So
oh yeah, he's Goku.
He's Goku. He can do whatever he wants. And Gohan gets shafted.
Yeah, I actually know a lot of people who really like Gohan and get annoyed with just how much this character gets pushed to the side, even though he's technically stronger than his dad, apparently, or something like that.
Like he was supposed to be, but I think they've like made it where it's like, no, Goku surpassed his limits again, so now he's stronger than Gohan. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever.
You have to make Gohan a librarian or whatever.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what he is.
He's
I
like
just
a scholar or something.
Scholar, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I totally stopped. Like, I didn't really watch. I watched it because my brother loves it, and so I've watched like the beginning, the Frieza saga, and then the Cell saga, and then it went on after that, and I was all like, no, it should have ended with the Cell saga. Like that was great. Why did you continue? Because now everything's just like I don't like it.
Yeah, I think I actually stopped. Like, I didn't see the Cell saga. I saw the Frieza saga and I saw the Buu saga, and I don't think those two are right by each other.
No.
I think there's quite a gap between the two.
Yeah, because I believe the Buu saga has regular Trunks, kid Trunks, and Goten.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a jump.
Yeah, so I stopped watching around the time Kid Buu showed up. I just completely lost interest. It's like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
This isn't my thing.
Bye, Dragon Ball.
It's a good show. I'm not saying it's a bad show. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, for sure. I understand why people like it. Like, it's cool to see this stuff happen, but it's just like, I liked this character, and this character constantly gets shafted. I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, no, exactly. You can only handle so much abuse before you just have to give up.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when I heard My Hero Academia has a tournament arc, I was worried, because I was like, oh no, I hate tournament arcs.
Oh no.
It was handled so well, and I know in the manga he was complaining that he's like, oh, I'm sorry this took so long. I'm like, are you kidding? This was the fastest tournament arc I've ever read. It was like a couple of volumes, and then it was done. Oh my god, I love
like,
you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And yeah. And season 3 of that airs the same day as the Persona 5 anime.
So oh my god.
Yep. You're very excited in that. Awesome. However, we don't only watch TV. In fact, I obviously watch more TV or anime than you do.
Yes.
If you had to pick one of your favorite games, like I already know the answer, but why don't you tell our audience?
White Knight Chronicles.
Oh man!
No. I'm just kidding. The real answer is Persona 5. Persona 5.
Persona 5.
100%. Persona 5.
I'm so shocked.
I know. There's only. I don't want to count the amount of jokers I have in my room. But Persona 5 100% wins. It wins. It wins how fun it was. It wins how the story touched me. It wins on main protagonist. It wins on everything. It wins on it wins on music, but like just barely. Like it's really a
great in context soundtrack. Like
yes.
I love the game. I love the music while the game was playing. I find it hard to listen to the music outside the game, except for a couple of songs. But in the game, it is perfect. It is mood setting.
It's yeah. And I'm kind of the person who like does that thing where it's like, I like the soundtrack. This soundtrack has English lyrics. Let's learn all the songs. So I learned all the songs, and if you actually listen to the lyrics, I'm just like, these lyrics are just fantastic. They mean so much.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, despite the fact that it's spoken from, like, it's a girl singing it, you could totally hear that it's the main protagonist and what he's thinking.
Exactly.
Every time. And I'm like, yes. Yes. And those same songs, part of the reason why I like it is because it helped me during a time of my life. So those songs helped me while I was just working a really bad job, and it helped me stay sane at certain points of it.
It's amazing that music has that power to keep you sane and to lift you up or make your heart hurt. Yes. Just by how it is played.
Exactly. And music is very powerful, and I love every bit of it. So good. Yeah. Persona 5.
Was there anything in Persona 5 that you wish was there or could have been better?
Sort of. It's like, it was just like, it was so good. I wasn't expecting it to be good, like as good as P4, right?
Right.
We had a little like, me and my friends were just like, okay, so Persona 5, before it came out, I was like, Persona 5, what do you expect from it? And I'm like, I expect, or like, I hope, this is like a hope, right? That it's just under P4. Like, that's a dream right there, you know, just under P4.
And it just far surpassed it?
Yeah, and then I played 15 minutes of it, the first 15 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god, this is like instant hook, instant like, this character, I need to know more about him. Like, oh my god, dude. And from there, it just kept building. And
remind me, how long did it take you to beat this game?
115 hours in a month.
Yeah, but how fast did you do that 115 hours?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Don't worry about it. I will say, I lucked out. I played it. It came out during my school's spring vacation. So like the day I got it, I woke up at sunny 10 a.m. because that was when I slept in really late. It's at 10 a.m. and I'm like, oh my god, Persona 5 comes. Oh man, it might be here. And just run to the door, open it, and there it is, just the package right in front of my door. And I'm like, grab, run back, take a picture, send it off. And I'm like, guys, I have it. Let's go. 10 hours later, it's like, you know, it's like 12 because I had to take a break for like food and stuff, right? So it's like midnight, and I'm like, okay, I gotta play more. What time is it? It's midnight, and I think I have work in the morning.
Oh no.
Shit. Okay, I guess I'll just. No, I'm done. And then I had work, and I came home, and you know, mad because bad things, and it's like march to the room, sit down, play P5 for another 10 hours, even though I had work that day. And I'm like, god. Okay, 2 days in, I'm 20 hours into the game. All right,
crap,
let's do this.
You're crazy.
Yeah, so it's like I played it at the right time for me to be able to do that. Also, that whole month, I was sick. Like, first it was like a coldish kind of thing, but then it developed into actual like pink eye. So I had to stay home for 3 days, and those 3 days, you know what I was doing, right?
Yep.
I even had to develop, because like I was holding like an ice rag to like my eye, you know, because you have to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't play Persona 5 one-handed. So I had to like grab a headband, right? And I had to finagle a way to like put basically a rag eye patch on, and then I just continued playing Persona 5.
Oh man.
It was.
That's some dedication, Maddie.
I was very dedicated. No. At the time, I still do, but I play a game called Heroes of the Storm, which is a MOBA with a bunch of online friends, and like they didn't see me for a month. Like 2 weeks in, and I hopped on once. I'm like, guys, sorry, I've been dead, but there's a game that just I need to play, and they're like, no, it's okay. Why are you like stopping to play the game? And I'm like. It's kind of being known as my sick game because I've been sick the whole time, so I don't want it to be known as my sick game, so I figured I'd take a small break and, like, play something else. And I was like, this is fun. Okay, next morning, wake up, play Persona 5.
Yep. No, you gotta.
It was the most wonderful experience. Yeah. Helped me get through that month. It was great. I'm probably gonna deep dive this later, obviously, but that's the overview right there is why I like it so much.
Now, I know you mentioned with shows, fantasy is one of those things that will get you to at least try it. Is that similar for games, or do you have a different set of criteria for games?
I gotta quickly roll through my head and remember what games I've played. I think all of them have been fantasy. Like, I've never played, you know, Sims or anything like that.
Right.
I think almost all of them are fantasy in some way. I count Persona 5 as being fantasy because there are supernatural elements into it, right? You might be living out a year in, like, you know, mundane world, school year, talking to people, but then there's the other half of, like, yep, this is a video game, and you're controlling demons. Yeah. Here you go. And I'm like, yep, okay, great. Almost every game I played has been fantasy. Harvest Moon, you could say, is a farming sim, so maybe I do like me some farming sims.
Okay.
It's fun. But
if like there were a game that had no attachment to any IP, but had like one thing, what would that one thing be to make you want to play it?
Fantasy, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's true across both.
I do like me my fantasy stuff.
I don't.
Games are a way to get away, right? So it's like, let me be this person who can do these wondrous things, and I'll go back to my real life later because I could do that on my own time over there. I don't need to sit down and be like, let's play a real life game. Let's
Yeah.
let's be a
I mean,
Wonders person.
I get people who enjoy Grand Theft Auto type games
Yeah.
or more realistic in quotation marks games like that. But yeah, I agree. It's fun taking over another character for sure.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's fun just to be your own character, but in a fantasy setting.
Mm-hmm,
Which is
mm-hmm.
why I like D&D so much, because it's like, this is me, but I could do all these great things.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fun. Yeah. I like me some fantasy. Makes me
Fantasy's
happy.
good times.
Yes. Well, but what's your favorite game series? I'm
Thank you for
interested.
phrasing that as a series.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
that kind of slipped, didn't it?
yeah,
What's your favorite game series? Because I
because I
know,
can't pick a favorite game. I have too many, and
I
so
kind of don't even know what series it is because there's a couple
there's a couple. Yeah.
that you can pick here.
Well, in this case, and my answer changes day to day, of course, but for this right now, I'll say that Trails in the Sky, the third, is my favorite game series.
Okay.
So pretty much all of Kiseki,
Just all of Kiseki, yeah.
yeah, just all the Legend of Heroes, including the Gargav trilogy that I played. I still need to play one more of the three. But yeah, just plop, and we're good. I adore the world building in the Legend of Heroes series.
Yes, it's
I love
very good.
Yeah, I love the characters. I love the fact that you can talk to every NPC, and depending on what point in the story, they'll say different things, and it won't necessarily be like, "Oh, did you hear that there was a hidden treasure behind the waterfall? Isn't that swell?" Like they'll actually talk about their lives, and because like they have their own life, and it doesn't really matter that you're saving the world. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't even remotely come into the thing.
Not really.
And
They'll recognize you for like whatever character you're playing.
yeah.
They'll recognize you for who you are and be all like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Like, this chicken did well today." You know,
Yeah.
It really brings you into that world.
It does. And I absolutely adore that. And it's funny that I mention all that, and the third probably in the entire series has the least amount of that.
That's so true.
But the reason I love the third so much is because of the foundation that first and second chapter built up for it. So, and the third has my favorite protagonist, Kevin. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I love Reen too. I adore Reen.
We know Kevin wins.
Yeah, if Reen and Kevin had to fight for my love, Kevin would win.
Oh, Kevin. But yeah, the way they create these games is like almost amazing in my mind, because they have the first and second, right, which have two like one main protagonist, and they go to the third, which is like it's labeled under the same game series, right, but completely different like protag, but yet a lot of what that character story goes through, it almost feeds back into 1 and 2.
And that's why, like, I love it so much. I love the whole story behind its creation, where Kondo was like, "I'm going to make a game." Well, okay, so he applied as an accountant, apparently, and they're like, "No, go be in the game development department." And so he ended up, I think, porting Moonlight Witch, which is one of the Gargav trilogy Legend of Heroes games. And it was like an impossible task, but he did it. And so they gave him control of his own title, and so he started making Trails in the Sky. And then he continued making it, and then he kept making it, and they're like, "Okay, we have to release something, so stop it and then continue it in the next game." Because he had this overarching story, right? And he had only gotten through about half of it.
Boy, did he pick a fun place to stop. God.
Yeah, no, he picked the best possible place to stop first chapter. That is, yeah. So then, of course, those who have played second chapter know that second chapter is like twice as long as first chapter.
Every minute of it is glorious.
It's so good. But yeah, no, that was all supposed to be one game, and it kind of just spiraled out of control. And then, I'm not sure if they kept the third as a Sky title because of Kevin's connection to second chapter. I don't know. But I'm so glad they did, because it does feed back into the story, and you wouldn't know and love these characters had you not met them in first and second chapter.
Yeah, like if you started with the third, you'd have no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
absolutely none.
Like if the third were titled something completely else, not Trails in the Sky, it would have been confusing. So I'm really glad they stuck to their guns on that. And then I just I am a sucker for world building. It just makes me so happy when you see little bits of the world are like an example from later in the series is you go to a character Laura's hometown and there used to be animist traditions in the town, and so you'll walk around and you'll see like crumbling statues in the field, and like that's really cool attention to detail that I love it so much.
Mm-hmm. It's always fun picking out those little details in the games.
Yeah, exactly, because it changes walking in a big open field to walking in a world that has gone through a lot of changes over time, especially considering this world is going through a bit of a revolution in regards to technology, in regards to magic.
And walking in that same field with the details is even better with the wondrous world of Tales music.
Yes.
Trails music, my bad.
Any Falcom music, it makes me so happy. Like, I won't lie, most of what is on my iTunes is from Falcom.
That's good, because all their songs are just amazing.
Yeah. And it just helps add to, like, honestly, if Legend of Heroes and if Ys didn't have as good of music as it does, I don't know if it probably still would be my favorite, but I wouldn't be so like, yes, it's so good, everyone should play it. But yeah, so that's how you hook me with games. You hook me with world building. You hook me with great characters. Same as you. Usually everything I play is fantasy. It's pretty common for JRPGs to be fantasy though, and that is the bulk of what I play.
Yes.
And it has to have good music. If it doesn't have good music, I won't make it, no matter how good the game is.
Yeah, it's because if you're going to spend your time in like, you know, a 60-hour game, you don't want to you don't want to be like grinding your way through battles with like, oh god, why? I don't want to do this. When you hop into a battle and you're like, ooh, yeah, I'm rocking. Let's go. Let's do this. And then you go into the field and it's like, depending on where you are, it sets the mood perfectly. It's like, you feel. It's amazing how music can make you feel in the world, even though if you were actually in that world, music would not be playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's like, it really sets the tone, which is why a lot of the times when I'm like in real life here, I'll play music that like corresponds to like the moods of wherever I'm at. Like, for example, quickly, it's raining outside right now. If I was driving, I'd probably put on Beneath the Mask Rain.
I was gonna say Beneath the Mask, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a great song, like the rainy day version.
I specifically love the rainy day version without lyrics.
Yeah, me too.
The soft piano, right? There's no like beat. It's like very soft, mellow. It sets the mood like perfectly.
Yeah.
But like, you don't really imagine it. When you just hear blank Persona soundtrack, you're like, I don't feel like this is in a game. Like, it doesn't make any sense kind of deal. And then you get into it, like the main battle theme, you're like, why? And then you play for like an hour, and you're like, this fits perfectly. I don't know why, but it does.
It does. It fits with the style, it fits with the mood, and you're just like, yes, this is a full package deal, and I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
And then also there are times when you listen to songs like, whenever I'm working on some, I am an artist in my spare time, and like a game over song plays, I just kind of look over my iTunes and it's like, no, I'm not done. I won't be beaten.
I will not
be
beaten
here.
Me. Oh, the game over songs playing at the right.
And the thing is, like, Falcom has really good game over songs, like far too good for what they are.
Yeah, they'll start and you're like, oh, we died,
like,
but then you'll listen to it anyway.
Yeah, it's like, I like this song, but I don't like the connotations behind the song.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah. Aww.
No. For me personally, specifically for Trails in the Sky, Trails. No, actually, no, Trails in the Sky. When I play on hard mode because I'm a masochist, so a lot of times I'll die like first time through a boss fight, and for specifically those games, it will send you back to the main menu before you reload into the game. And so every time I hear the main menu song, instead of just the death song reminding me of death, the main menu song does. It's just like, and we lost, time to restart. Main menu song, okay.
Yeah.
Like, whoops, wrong thing.
On that same note, I mean, Stone of Recluse, probably my favorite turning on the game song. It's just so good. Makes me so happy.
Out of all the Trails soundtracks, you prefer which one?
Third.
The third. Why is this?
A lot of the songs are very mystical sounding, and for whatever reason, that hooks me every time. Either because of the use of violin or because of it just sounds very melodic versus very hardcore, let's rush and get this done. Because like, yeah, the third has Stone of Recluse, Golden Road Silver Rolled, Overdosing Heavenly Bliss. It's Flight of the Fairies is second chapter, right? Yes. I like that song too.
I mean, it's a fantastic song.
But yeah, the thing is, it's like it's got all like I don't know if there's a single song on the third OST that I don't like. Whereas first chapter, I have a couple songs where it's like I tolerate them, but they're not my favorite. Most of the town songs are kind of like they're good, but
yeah, a lot of the first chapter is like the world building, like the base.
Yeah, exactly.
Songs.
It is the foundation for the next 10 games.
Yeah. So you got like the songs you'll hear over and over again for the other games, but you only have in the first soundtrack. Like the main, like Grand Soul, the Castle, Relent, like all just the base towns.
Yeah,
and it's like I liked these songs, but I don't want to just like listen to them. They're nice town songs.
Exactly. Like I'll know what town I'm like if it comes up on my iTunes, I'm like, okay, I know this. I know what town this is for. That's great, but let's switch.
Let's switch off of this.
And like I'm not a big fan of Sophisticated Fight, which is the battle song for the first chapter.
It grew on me.
Fair enough.
I'll listen to it almost every time.
As much, right. Like I prefer the boss song in that game. I don't remember what it's called because I'm not as good with the song titles as you are. But,
I'll be honest, a lot of first chapter and second chapter blend to me.
Right, that's the thing. A lot of them because they shared assets, and I think they shared a lot of songs.
Like
which
Will
makes
of
sense.
Silver.
They're kind of one game.
Yes. Will of Silver. That hits you in the feels. Every time.
Yeah.
Them feels.
Whereabouts of Light makes me cry out of context. It's just
Whereabouts of Hope make me cry.
Whereabouts of Hope is like Whereabouts of Light on steroids.
Yeah, I could a lot. I think Trails might be Trails and some Tales music because some of it is like situational,
really,
but like a lot of Trails music is like it'll play and you can picture perfectly where it's used, the scene it's in, and Whereabouts of Hope. Oh man.
Yeah, no.
That scene is like engraved in my mind.
So memorable, yeah. Just
there's also the Whereabouts of Light harmonica version. That scene's also it's just like oh man.
And then there's me with my million versions of Amber
Amber More.
Or Kohaku no Ai, depending on, because I have like I think 6 versions of that damn song.
I believe it. Yeah. I have,
and I love every one of them.
I think I have like 4 versions of Silver Will or Jin no something.
Yeah, Gin no Ishi.
Yeah, that one. Gin no Ishi.
Or
Well, technically, if you count the intros, that's more. But
true.
Man, second chapter
and the
intro.
Abridged and the Sanmai and the super arranged. There's so like Falcom is great because they just keep putting out all their music. They know that's one.
They
of
know
the
it's so good. They just
shine.
need to put like a slight remix on it. It's like, yeah, it's good. Give it to me. I'll take it.
And like, I like other music too. Obviously, like you mentioned, I like Tales of Songs. I like Persona music. Although again, I prefer Persona music in context.
Yeah.
Versus out of context.
Yeah.
The Atelier games have some, like, some of them have better soundtracks than others, but like I didn't care for Atelier Shalistera or whatever it was called in English. But the music is some of the best the entire series has ever had.
Nice.
But yeah, the game itself was weird and I didn't like it. Because I don't know if you've played any of the Atelier games, but there's a time frame and usually it's like you have 3 years, and if you don't finish the main campaign in 3 years, then too bad.
Wow.
And this one didn't do that. It got rid of the time frame. Like I don't think you can beat the game and not get the final ending or whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
No, you think, but no.
Or, but no, it ruins it. Got it.
Yeah, no. There's kind of a, I don't know. I think Esha and Logi did it well, where you still have the time frame, but you have to complete both campaigns to get the true end, which reminds me I should go back and beat the other campaign.
So the time frame adds like a little bit of tension, of urgency.
Yeah. Well, because otherwise you'll just like rest as much as you need to get your MP back up. Because synthing things lowers your MP.
Am I a master at saving my resources?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a really fun game, very cute. Lots of fan service, both male and female, so.
Well, at least there's the female fan service too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, some of the characters are just beautifully designed.
Excellent.
And yes, it's a good time.
It's a good time. I love good times.
Yeah. So, have we pretty much covered it all? Have we,
all of our favorite things, a broad overview? I think so.
Yeah, cool. So, as I mentioned before, this is a very young, we are open to suggestions. If you want to tell us what we can improve or what you think we can do better, you can let us know in the comments down below, or you can click the link to our Discord and join that.
Discord!
Yay, Discord!
Discord's a fun time.
It is. I'm not known to be the best chatter, but I'm gonna put in the effort.
You'll put in the effort. We'll try.
I'll try. Maybe I'll get a gold star.
Pat.
Other than that, you can follow me on Twitter, at Rachana. The link will also be in the description.
Or you can follow me on Twitter, at Dekilidin. The link will also be in the description.
Yep, and, past that, we look forward to hearing your suggestions. Oh, and if you want to suggest a topic, we're also open to those. We have quite a few lined up. But, always fun to hear what other people want to hear us talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've hoped you enjoyed your time here with us, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.